70 XD. What are we really getting for that price jump? Are we just paying for a name, or is there something substantial under the hood that what could be the technical explanation behind this issue, and why does it matter for potential buyers?
Cheap peripherals often have poorly written drivers or firmware that can conflict with your system, especially if they are not updated regularly or compatible with your setup. Drive wheel like the Moser R9 is a game changer for many. It offers more precise feedback and stronger force feedback, which can enhance the realism of your racing experience significantly.
I remember my first race with a direct drive wheel. The nuances in the steering feedback were like night and day compared to my old setup. It felt like I was truly connected to the car.
Upgrading to a direct drive wheel and load cell pedals can substantially enhance the realism and performance of your sim racing setup, although the significance of the change can vary based on personal experience.
You're tuned to Even Rack 1 NGFM. This weekend marks the Bathurst 12 Hours, and sim racing enthusiasts are gearing up for a special Mount Panorama themed event on the r/sim racing subreddit. Participants are encouraged to share their most thrilling sim racing moments from this iconic track. The initiative not only celebrates a real-world motorsport event, but also fosters a sense of community among virtual racers by allowing them to showcase their skills and creativity. Mount Panorama is legendary in the racing world, and sim racers have the chance to show off just how close they can get to the real thing with their virtual setups.
This kind of community engagement is vital, as it bridges the gap between virtual and real racing, allowing fans to experience and appreciate the complexities of the Bathurst track.
But do these virtual experiences really capture the true essence of racing at Mount Panorama? There's always a debate on how closely sims can replicate the physical and emotional challenges of the actual races.
The sim racing community is embracing the Bathurst 12 Hours event, using it as a platform to share their virtual racing experiences at Mount Panorama, highlighting the ongoing blend of real and virtual motorsport worlds. The r/Sim Racing monthly super thread for February 2026 has been released, offering a comprehensive guide for both newcomers and seasoned veterans in the sim racing community. This thread acts as a one-stop hub for anyone with a passion for sim racing, providing essential resources and a place for community interaction. It's fantastic to see a community coming together to support both new and experienced sim racers. Resources like this make it so much easier for people to get involved.
Absolutely. The consistent updates and community-driven content really help in keeping the information relevant and valuable for all skill levels.
But isn't there a risk of information overload? With so much content available, it could be overwhelming for newcomers to sift through it all.
The r/Sim Racing monthly super thread is an invaluable resource that enhances community engagement and supports the growth of sim racing enthusiasts at every level. It's interesting to see how sim racing has evolved, becoming more of a serious hobby where mental preparation is as important as physical preparation.
Absolutely, and understanding the importance of minimizing distractions can really enhance a racer's performance. It's like being in a real pit crew, but at home.
But isn't there a risk of overthinking support? I mean, could too much focus on creating the perfect environment add pressure rather than reduce it?
I remember a friend who turned her garage into a mini pit stop for her partner's races. It was amazing how even small changes made a big difference in his performance and enjoyment. In the world of simulation games, realism is often the ultimate goal. But when that realism crosses into discomfort or even danger, it raises crucial questions about the balance between immersion and safety. The recent outcry from the community suggests that an aspect of the multiplayer experience has become hazardous, with players reporting physical injuries such as sprained wrists.
This isn't just a matter of gameplay mechanics. It's about ergonomics and player welfare, which are often overlooked in the pursuit of hyper-realistic experiences.
But could this be an isolated incident? Simulation games have been around for decades, and such reports are rather unusual.
As developers push the boundaries of realism, they must also prioritize player safety, ensuring their creations don't inadvertently harm those who engage with them.
The amusing exchange here highlights how sometimes practicality and humor intersect when it comes to living with large hobby equipment in small spaces. This anecdote reflects the balance between passion for sim racing and the everyday realities of shared living spaces.
It's quite relatable for anyone who's ever had to justify a hobby that takes up a lot of room. We've all been there.
But it does raise the question, how often do we let hobbies overtake practical living spaces? Is it always worth it?
Balancing personal interests with shared living space can be challenging, but humor and understanding can help navigate these dynamics. Indeed, the level of detail in sim racing is remarkable. The physics, the handling, even the environmental factors are considered to make it as authentic as possible. It's a testament to how far the technology has advanced.
But let's not forget, no matter how realistic a sim is, the physical sensations like G-forces and the smell of burnt rubber are still missing. Those are integral parts of the real racing experience.
I remember the first time I saw a race at Spa. The excitement, the atmosphere, it was electrifying. Sim racing does capture a lot of that, but there's something about being trackside that a screen just can't replicate.
Stefano Casello has been a pivotal figure in sim racing, and his expertise is unmatched. His movements could signal a shift in the industry's direction or Kuno's internal strategy.
While it's easy to speculate about the reasons for his departure, we should consider that such moves are common in the tech industry. Sometimes the reasons are more personal than professional.
Indeed, the sim racing community is buzzing with theories right now. Could it be a new opportunity for Stefano, or perhaps a change in Kuno's vision that led to this decision?
The recent update in Euro Truck Simulator 2 brings a redesigned Scania steering column and instrument cluster. Let's delve into what these changes mean for the gameplay experience. For starters, the update aims to enhance realism, giving players a more authentic feel of driving a Scania truck.
That sounds like a substantial improvement. How does it reflect in the game's interface and overall experience?
I'm curious if these aesthetic changes actually impact gameplay, or are they just visual enhancements?
Remember when ETS2 first launched, the thrill of the open road was there, but these updates might just capture the true essence of being behind a Scania wheel.
The updated Scania steering column and cluster in ETS2 are primarily about enhancing the visual realism and immersion for players, making their virtual trucking experience more akin to real-life driving. In terms of technical performance, flat screens do offer a straightforward alignment, reducing potential distortion. However, advancements in curvature technology have minimized these issues significantly.
I'm not entirely convinced. It's not just about alignment. Curved monitors can have issues with color consistency due to their BA panels, unlike IPS or OLED.
I remember a friend who swore by his curved setup. He said it enveloped him in the race more than any flat screen could. For him, the immersive experience was worth any minor distortions. There's a thrilling new update in the world of sim racing, and it's all about the iconic Mount Panorama circuit, specifically the exhilarating downhill section. This update has sparked a lively discussion among sim racers, exploring what exactly has changed and why these changes are resonating so profoundly with the community.
The downhill section at Mount Panorama is notorious for its complexity and the sheer skill it demands from drivers. Any tweak to this part of the track can significantly alter the racing dynamics.
But are these changes really improving the experience, or are they just a gimmick to attract more players? Sometimes updates prioritize flash over substance.
The update to Mount Panorama's downhill section in Seto is a testament to the evolving nature of sim racing, underscoring the community's passion for authenticity and the pursuit of perfection on virtual tracks.
The excitement is building as the Trans Am League is set to kick off this spring, with races happening every Sunday at 10 a.m. EST. Featuring late model stock cars in both heat races and main events, this league promises to bring thrilling competition to racing fans. But what exactly has changed, and why is this development so significant for the racing community?
This is a big move for the league, as introducing a regular Sunday schedule could significantly boost viewership and engagement. The consistency allows fans to tune in regularly, building a more dedicated audience.
While a set schedule is great, I'm curious about how it will compete with other motorsport events. Sunday is a prime day for racing, and there might be some overlap with established events.
The Trans Am League's regular Sunday races could redefine the motorsport landscape by attracting new fans and fostering a dedicated community around late model stock racing.
So, we're diving into the topic of Brasil and how things have changed there. But let's be realistic, change doesn't happen in isolation. What are the driving factors behind these shifts, and do they really matter in the grand scheme of things? I mean, just because something changes doesn't mean it's inherently good or bad. What are the ramifications?
It's fascinating to look at these changes. Brazil has seen significant economic growth, but it's also facing challenges like political unrest and environmental concerns.
From an economic standpoint, Brazil moving towards more sustainable practices could be a game changer. But the question remains, are these shifts sustainable in the long term?
Brazil's journey is like a roller coaster, a mix of highs and lows. The people and the culture are resilient, and that's something that often gets overlooked in these discussions.
Changes in Brazil are multifaceted, involving economic growth, political challenges, and environmental issues. These shifts are critical but require ongoing commitment and resilience to ensure sustainable progress. So, we're looking at this interesting driving style captured in virtual reality. I'm curious, what exactly changed in this style and why does it matter? There's a hint of skepticism here about how much significance we should really place on this. Let's break it down and see if there's more to this than just a VR wobble.
Well, the VR capture allows us to analyze driving patterns in a controlled environment, which is fantastic for understanding the subtle shifts in technique. The changes might be minor, but they can have major implications for performance.
Imagine the driver in the heat of the race making split-second decisions. The VR capture gives us a glimpse into the high-stakes world, and even a slight wobble can tell a story of adaptation and resilience.
Exploring driving styles in VR reveals subtle but potentially impactful changes that can enhance performance, offering insights into the driver's technique and decision-making process.
There's a special kind of thrill that comes with the first win, especially in the high-octane world of racing, and our new racer has just experienced this magic. It's a fascinating journey when someone dives into a new passion and finds success so quickly, and it raises the question of what changes in a person when they discover their calling, even at 33.
It's incredible to see how quickly someone can adapt and excel in a new hobby, especially in something as challenging as iRacing. It just goes to show it's never too late to start something new.
The rapid success here is likely due to a combination of innate talent and the immersive nature of the iRacing platform. It provides such realistic feedback and challenges, which can really accelerate learning.
While it's impressive, I wonder if this initial success is sustainable. Sometimes beginner's luck can play a big role, and the real test is maintaining that performance over time.
This story is a testament to the power of passion and the possibilities that open up when we decide to try something new regardless of age or experience. It also highlights the transformative potential of virtual racing platforms like iRacing in discovering and honing new skills.
So, it seems there was just one GT4 car in the Bathurst 12 HR race. That's unusual, isn't it? Why would they allow only one car in a class? What could be the reasoning behind this decision? Let's dig into why this might matter and what could have changed.
Well, having a single car in a class could be a bit anticlimactic for spectators. There's less competition, which might reduce the excitement.
This could have been a strategic decision based on the number of entries they received. Maybe not enough GT4 teams registered, so they allowed a single entry to maintain some diversity in the lineup.
The inclusion of a single GT4 car in the Bathurst 12 HR raises questions about race dynamics and organizational decisions, highlighting potential challenges in attracting a diverse field of competitors. So, what we're hearing is that minor damage during a race seems to be affecting the force feedback, making it unexpectedly heavier. Is this a software glitch, or is there something more intricate at play here? Could it be that this is an intentional feature designed to simulate more realistic driving conditions, or is it just an oversight in the system?
It's quite possible that the software is programmed to simulate increased difficulty in steering when damage is detected, mimicking real-world physics, where a damaged car would indeed be harder to control.
But if the base is warm to the touch after such experiences, could this indicate possible overexertion of the hardware? That might be something users need to be cautious about.
The increased force feedback following damage might be a deliberate feature to enhance realism, but it raises concerns about the potential strain on hardware. Drivers should be aware of how their equipment responds and make adjustments as needed. The SKF LMP2 Sprint Series claims to focus on driver skill and consistency in short, intense races. But what exactly has changed to make it stand out in the world of iRacing, and why should we care? Let's break down the details and see if this series is truly as demanding and competitive as it suggests.
The schedule features iconic tracks like Sebring and Le Mans, which are known for testing even the best drivers. These circuits require precision and courage, which could elevate the competition.
With these shorter race formats, it seems like there's little room for error, which should make for some exciting and unpredictable races. It's a format that can really engage viewers and participants alike.
The SKF LMP2 Sprint Series is aiming to differentiate itself through intense, skill-focused racing on challenging tracks. Its success will depend on whether it can deliver on the promise of clean, competitive racing in a short format.
In the world of virtual racing, integrating visual overlays into VR streaming poses both a challenge and an opportunity, especially with tools like RaceLabs. Let's dive into how racers can enhance their streaming experience while using VR headsets.
The main hurdle here is that traditional streaming software like OBS doesn't natively support VR overlays because they are rendered separately from the VR environment. This requires some technical workarounds.
But isn't this just overcomplicating things? Why not just stick to 2D monitors where overlays work more seamlessly?
Integrating VR overlays like RaceLabs into streaming requires technical know-how, but it offers a more immersive racing experience that could set new standards for virtual motorsports.
Let's dive into this scenario where a driver was locked out of a race due to the simulator being unresponsive for 25 seconds. The question is, can they rejoin the race, or is it game over for them? Examining what changed here is crucial. It seems like the system has a built-in timeout feature that prevents rejoining after a certain period of inactivity.
That's pretty tough luck. It seems like a key point here is the need for better awareness about these timeout features before entering a race.
But wouldn't allowing rejoining compromise the integrity of the race? It's a tricky balance between fairness and flexibility for participants.
Understanding the limitations of the simulator's timeout feature is crucial for drivers, and it's worth considering potential improvements for a more flexible race experience. It's great that you're choosing the Bathurst 12-hour as your first endurance race. The track is legendary, and you'll learn a lot about strategy and teamwork.
Absolutely. Bathurst is known for its challenging layout and unique atmosphere. It's a perfect place to gain valuable experience in endurance racing.
But don't underestimate the intensity of an endurance race, even if it's for fun. It's important to prepare mentally and physically for the long hours on the track.
I remember my first endurance race. The camaraderie and the lessons learned on the track were unforgettable. You'll come away with great stories and new friendships.
You're tuned to Even Rank 1 NGFM.
Aventus Motorsports, a relatively new player in the racing world, is making waves with its ambitious recruitment drive for the Bathurst 12 and beyond. Founded less than a year ago, the team has already celebrated significant successes, including a podium finish at the Majors 24. The team is currently seeking drivers across various classes, focusing on those who are not only skilled, but also share a team-first mindset.
It's interesting to see how Aventus is strategically building its roster, looking for drivers who can contribute to a positive team culture. It's not just about individual talent, but also about how well they fit into the team dynamics.
Recruiting for endurance races like Bathurst requires more than just speed. Drivers need endurance, mental resilience, and the ability to collaborate effectively under pressure, which Aventus seems to value highly.
While the idea of building a winning culture sounds great, the real challenge will be maintaining this ethos as the team grows. It's easy to say your team first, but tough to live by it when the stakes are high and egos come into play.
Aventus Motorsports is not just expanding its team, but also reinforcing its commitment to creating a collaborative and successful racing environment. This approach could be key to their continued success in the competitive world of endurance racing. In the bustling world of Formula 1 600, a fascinating story is unfolding about a racer who clinched their first win. The excitement isn't just about crossing the finish line first, it's a tale of what changed and why it truly matters. So what exactly shifted gears here? Let's dive into the details and see why this victory is resonating so much among the iRacing community.
From what we've gathered, it seems like the racer made some significant adjustments to their strategy and perhaps their setup. These tweaks can make all the difference, especially in a competitive field like Formula 1600.
While a first win is always impressive, I'm curious to see if this victory was a one-off or if it's the start of a trend. Consistency is key in racing after all.
This victory in Formula 1600 is more than just a personal achievement, it's a moment that highlights the importance of adaptability and perseverance in racing. By analysing what changed, we see a blueprint for success that others might follow.
That's right. The inclusion of protests for reckless driving is a game changer. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining discipline and respect on the track even under yellow flag conditions.
But let's be honest, how many drivers actually read through the sporting code? This change might be in the rulebook, but it won't make a difference if racers aren't aware of it.
I remember a race where a driver kept leaving under caution, causing chaos. If only we'd known about this rule back then, we might have been able to address it before it escalated.
The idea of adding sedan bodies to iRacing's Legends cars is gaining traction among fans who want more diversity in vehicle types beyond the traditional coupe. But why is this change so important to the community, and what would it mean for the virtual racing experience?
Introducing sedan bodies could revitalize interest in Legends racing by offering a fresh aesthetic and handling dynamic. It would also mirror real-world racing, where diversity in car types keeps the sport exciting.
While it sounds appealing, there's a concern about how these changes might affect the balance and fairness in races. Sedan bodies could alter aerodynamics and performance drastically.
Imagine the thrill of racing a sleek sedan against a classic coupe. It's like reviving an old rivalry with a new twist, giving players stories to tell about their legendary races.
Adding sedan bodies to iRacing's Legends cars could bring renewed excitement and variety, but it also raises questions about game balance and performance impacts.
The difference in force feedback quality between these systems is like night and day. The Simagic is known for its robust build and exceptional feedback, which can really enhance a racer's ability to feel the road and react accurately.
But do you think the improvement justifies the cost for the average sim racer? I mean, Euros 750 is quite an investment if you're not competing at a high level.
Imagine twisting through overage with perfect feedback precision. It's like the wheel becomes an extension of your senses, not just a tool.
It's fascinating to hear how hardware upgrades can alter the entire racing experience. It's not just about going faster, but feeling more connected to the car and the track.
In an incredible turn of events during the Daytona 500, a car that seemed down and out on lap 102 due to damage managed to climb from a 13 to P4 on the final lap. This was no ordinary comeback, it was a testament to strategic resilience and seizing opportunities in chaos and choosing the track.
The key here was the team's meticulous work over those 80 laps. They repaired just enough to stay competitive, ensuring the car was ready to pounce in the final moments.
But let's not forget, this wasn't purely skill at play. The drivers ahead fell victim to last lap chaos, which certainly opened the door for this leap forward.
The journey from P13 to P4 highlights the dynamic nature of racing, where persistence, strategy and a bit of luck can dramatically change the outcome, even in the face of adversity.
In the latest uproar from the iRacing community, participants in a Daytona event are calling out an issue with penalties that they believe are unjustly affecting the outcome of races. The problem centers around pit exit codes that, when hit during a wreck, result in a stern 45-second penalty for speeding in the pits and unsafe pit exit.
This is a critical issue for sim racers, especially given that Daytona is such a high-stakes event. Any miscalculation by the system can devastate a player's standing.
But are we sure this isn't operator error? Could it be that the drivers need to adapt to the current regulations better, even if they seem flawed?
The iRacing community is urging a fix for penalties at Daytona, which they argue disrupt fair competition, highlighting the ongoing dialogue between players and developers to refine the racing experience.
When it comes to rating a save in a sim racing game like iRacing, isn't it just a bit subjective? I mean, two different points of view can offer contrasting insights, but isn't the real question whether these saves actually impact how we perceive skill? And why is it that something as simple as a save can spark such a conversation? What exactly changed in these saves to make them noteworthy, and why should it matter to the community?
That's a good point. Maybe it's less about the save itself and more about the excitement it brings to the race. It could be a highlight moment that keeps the community engaged.
From a technical perspective, the mechanics behind a save are fascinating. Understanding how a driver regains control can reveal a lot about their skill level and the physics of the simulation.
Ultimately, while personal perspectives on a racing save might vary, they underscore the blend of skill and spontaneity that defines competitive sim racing. These moments enrich the community, highlighting both the technical and human elements of the sport.
Unsafe rejoins are just one piece of the puzzle. We should also consider track limits, intentional blockades, and excessive contact as key violations that need attention.
I wonder if reporting these violations actually leads to any real consequences. Without enforcement, it might just be a feel-good measure.
It's interesting to see the community self-regulate like this. Maybe it's a sign of maturing within the sim racing world, where players care about maintaining a clean and competitive atmosphere.
So, is passing in the pit exit really allowed, or are we looking at a fundamental misunderstanding of racing etiquette here? The incident described raises questions about the rules governing pit exits and the potential consequences of such actions.
It's intriguing because pit lane rules are usually quite strict. Passing in such a tight area seems both risky and potentially against the rules.
In most racing leagues, passing in the pit lane or exit is generally prohibited due to safety concerns and the narrow space, which increases the risk of collisions.
Understanding and adhering to pit exit rules is crucial for race safety and fairness, and any infractions can have significant consequences on the race outcome.
Absolutely, the first turn is where the tension is highest, and it seems like there's always a lot at stake.
From a technical standpoint, the dynamics of a Turn 1 crash can reveal much about driver strategies and vehicle handling under pressure.
But isn't there a risk that focusing on these crashes too much might overshadow other important aspects of the race?
The question of who's at fault in a racing incident often comes down to understanding the dynamics of the track and the behavior of the drivers involved. In this scenario, it sounds like we're dealing with a classic case of miscommunication or misjudgment between the drivers of the Aston and the Corvette.
It's important to consider the rules of engagement during a race. Was there a clear racing line that the Aston should have respected?
I'm not convinced it's just about space. What about the Corvette's responsibility to anticipate the Aston's actions?
From a technical standpoint, the key change could be in how teams communicate positioning and intent to their drivers during a race. Determining fault in racing isn't just about who did what, but understanding the evolving dynamics and communications on the track. Such incidents highlight the need for clear strategies and better anticipation among drivers.
In the world of F1 25 League racing, a recent incident has sparked a flurry of debate over how it should be stewarded, revealing the ever-evolving dynamics of the sport. This incident not only highlights changes in the league's approach to rules and fairness, but also raises questions about the broader implications for competitive integrity.
It's fascinating to see how these incidents can serve as catalysts for change within the league. They often lead to adjustments in regulations and stewarding practices.
Indeed, what's particularly interesting is how the league's rules have had to adapt over time to keep pace with the changing nature of racing technology and driver strategies.
But let's not forget, these changes can sometimes lead to inconsistencies in how rules are applied. It's crucial for the league to maintain transparency in its decisions to ensure fairness.
The incident in the F1 25 League race underscores the importance of adaptable and transparent stewarding practices to uphold competitive integrity and fairness as the sport evolves.
In this scenario, the key point to focus on is the obligation of the driver under the blue flag to allow faster cars to pass safely. It seems that the yellow and white car did it just by going wide to give the faster car the inside line, which is the expected move. The critical change here is the faster car's responsibility to execute the pass cleanly once the space has been provided. And why this incident matters is it highlights the importance of communication and situational awareness in racing.
It's interesting to see how track etiquette and rules play out in these moments. Even with the best intentions, things can go right quickly.
But are we sure that the yellow and white car really gave enough space? Sometimes drivers think they're giving room, but from the other car's perspective, it might not be enough.
The incident underscores the delicate balance of responsibility and awareness required by both drivers in a passing situation during a race. Effective communication and precise execution are crucial to avoid collisions.
This incident is quite intriguing as it highlights a recurring issue in racing: blocking on the straight. Our question today revolves around whether such actions are deserving of a report or if both parties might be seen at fault. Let's consider what changed in this scenario, why it matters, and if there's a broader pattern at play. Blocking happens more often than we'd like to admit, but it's not uncommon for racers to feel provoked when it happens repeatedly.
In racing, overtaking is a part of the sport, but blocking, especially on the straight, can be dangerous and against the rules, depending on the context.
But isn't it possible that both drivers contributed to the escalation? Reporting one driver might not tell the whole story.
Incidents like these underscore the need for clear rules and mutual respect on the track. While blocking is frowned upon, understanding each party's perspective is crucial in resolving such disputes effectively.
Today, we're diving into the implementation of the warning badge system in sim racing, as discussed in the subreddit post by Vettel5Seb. This is the first race where this badge was used, and we're interested in understanding what changed and why it matters for the sim racing community. The introduction of a warning badge is a significant development, as it serves as a way to identify drivers who might need to improve their conduct on the track before escalating to penalties.
It's fascinating how sim racing communities are adopting mechanisms from real-world racing to improve fairness and sportsmanship.
But isn't there a risk that drivers might view the warning badge as a slap on the wrist, reducing its effectiveness?
I remember when I first started racing online, a system like this might have helped me identify and correct my mistakes sooner.
The implementation of the warning badge in sim racing is a proactive step towards enhancing sportsmanship and accountability, potentially leading to a more respectful and enjoyable racing environment. Let's analyze a racing scenario from Bahrain where a McLaren driver was in front, botched a corner, and our prototype driver attempted to overtake. A key point to explore is whether enough room was left during the maneuver. Understanding the dynamics of this turn is crucial because it highlights decision-making in high-pressure moments.
I'm curious about the consequences of not leaving enough room. Does it all come down to driver responsibility, or are there other factors at play?
I wonder if the McLaren driver simply didn't anticipate the overtake attempt. Sometimes drivers don't see or expect a car to be alongside them.
This reminds me of classic races, where split-second decisions define the outcome, showing how vital precision is in motor racing.
The incident underscores the importance of spatial awareness and anticipation in racing, where even small misjudgments can have significant impacts.
So, imagine you're part of a sim racing community, and after what seemed like a regular race, you find yourself banned from the server. That's exactly what happened to Reddit user Radishadi, who took to the Sim Racing Stewart subreddit to question their ban. Now, the key questions are: what changed during that race to warrant a ban, and why does this matter for the sim racing community?
In sim racing, the rules can be quite strict, and a minor incident can sometimes escalate if not handled well by the participant. Understanding how these communities operate is crucial.
I wonder if there's more to this story. Was there a heated exchange or a breach of conduct that wasn't explicitly mentioned in the post?
This situation highlights the importance of clear communication and understanding community rules within online platforms. It's always beneficial to seek clarity and address any potential missteps directly with moderators.
Our journey at Monza was intense, a whirl of adrenaline and split-second decisions. By the final lap, the air was thick with anticipation, but what unfolded was a disaster that led to lingering questions about responsibility and awareness. In hindsight, the replay paints a picture of erratic defending, a dance of reactive moves and questionable tactics that seemed to unfold in a pattern across the laps.
It's crucial to understand that erratic defending can indeed lead to collisions, especially under pressure. The key is identifying these patterns early on to adjust your strategy.
But isn't it also possible that your own inexperience played a role here? New drivers often misjudge situations, which can exacerbate these incidents.
The final incident at Monza wasn't just about a single moment, but rather a combination of patterns and decisions leading up to it. Recognizing erratic defensive moves and learning from these experiences is vital for growth and improvement on the track.
Today, we're diving into a heated debate from the sim racing community. A user reported getting a harsh reaction after a controversial maneuver on the last lap of a race. The big question here is, was the blame justified or was it an overreaction? Let's unpack what happened during that crucial move and why it stirred such strong emotions online.
In sim racing, much like in real motorsport, the last lap can be incredibly tense. Drivers are pushing their limits, and sometimes that leads to risky maneuvers. We need to consider whether the Aston's move was strategically sound or reckless.
But are we sure this isn't just a case of sour grapes from the other drivers? Sometimes in the heat of the moment, competitors don't see the full picture and jump to conclusions.
To add some context, racing etiquette is a big deal. It's not just about the rules, it's about the unwritten code of conduct. When someone feels wronged, especially in a race's climax, emotions can flare up quickly.
The incident underscores the complexity of racing dynamics, where split-second decisions can lead to disagreements and emotional